Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be playing through Journey. You might be asking why if you followed the channel for a while, because I've already played through the game and gotten all of the collectibles. Hell, I've gotten all the achievements for it. And that is true. But I got a new microphone like a month or two ago and have been using it to make the heavily edited videos about Scorn. But I haven't actually tested it out with straight up gameplay, and if I'm going to be doing more Let's Plays in the future, I need to see how well this works playing through a game live and doing commentary, and I figure I might as well use Journey as an example because it's a relatively simple game and a short one. And I do have some additional thoughts and things to say on it. I've actually watched a pretty interesting compilation video on the various dev interviews and documentaries about the game. It turns out it changed quite substantially. Initially, the devs were like super focused on co-op and working together, and then over time it became more and more independent to the point where you can play the game from start to finish all on your own. And sure enough, here I am playing the game from the very start. Going up this big hill, it's a lovely set piece and really does kind of set the mood for the game as being this vast journey. I mean, it's nothing like too complex and brilliant to use this to get the player to understand that's the destination, but if it works, it works, and that's more than you can say with the kind of stuff that happens in a lot of games. Now, the only thing that's kind of peculiar about this game is the fact that the space key is tied to this shout here, and the ability to jump is tied to the left mouse button. So here he has a little scarf, and he'll get a longer one in due time. But at least we can now jump. Or should have been able to. I'm not going to be going through and getting all the secrets and temple locations or anything like that. I've done that enough with the first Let's Play. What I will do, however, is slide down over here, and you can see all of these are lit up. These are the glyphs that you can collect throughout the levels, and when you do collect them all, you unlock this white outfit that also has the maximum jump height unlocked by default. And these are basically level selects. in the initial builds of the game, one thing that was kind of striking was how desaturated the environments were. I'm not sure if it's a relic of the fact that the game was made in, I think, 2012 or something like that, but in the era where a lot of games were heavily desaturated because that made people think about realism, or if simply it's a video quality or what, but I'm definitely glad that they changed it because that was a really crappy era for gamings in terms of art styles. Some games can do desaturation well, but that doesn't mean that everyone has to jump aboard that ship. The way the arches are designed is actually due to a technical limitation. Oh, there's another journey guide down there. The devs could not handle round or smooth arches. Something about the collision just did not work properly with that. And so they ended up making it these kind of geometric arches here, and that ended up influencing a lot of the rest of the style. And yeah, it's a very Mesa-like environment. It looks almost like Aztec in nature. Ah, crap. Nope. No skipping that one. In the 2014 Kickstarter page, one of the games that Ebb Software compared theirs to was Journey, and I think that's more in line with the storytelling and environmental context you can uncover more than anything. But it does genuinely remind me a little bit of Scorn, having these long, lost, dilapidated ruins of a once no doubt prosperous and even advanced civilization. And the technology being so different than how we build things. In Scorn's case, they tend to use a lot of flesh and biomechanical structures, and here they tend to use these cloths that power everything from their machinery to these weapons of war that I'm walking over the ruins of. I like that you can control your guy during the cutscene. Now, I don't know if I need to activate that one, or if I could potentially make it up. Let me try getting up here. Just short. There is an achievement for skipping one of these. I think it's a final one. Oh, it's these ones. Amusingly, in that little documentary, it was confirmed that these things are supposed to be like tombstones. The first area, I think, was even called like a graveyard. And these taller ones are called ancestors. It's a bit similar to Scorn in that way as well, where the only way we really know what some things are referred to as is by looking at material that isn't necessarily supposed to be public knowledge. At least the general story is pretty clear-cut and easy to understand. They used to be a farming tribe, and then grew more and more advanced over time, eventually discovering the power of these weird carpet things that you can see here has ended up being like their own industrial revolution. Now, use of pink sand is already unique enough, but the green sky definitely sets it apart from a lot of traditional desert environments. Interestingly, the reason the sky is green in this area is the developer said he wanted the blue sky to be a sort of reward for the player, and didn't want that just to be there at the very second level. You can see just how much sand has moved into this area. This is the very top of some building, which I guess kind of speaks to just how long it's been, if sand has been able to accumulate this much over absolutely everything. Now, there are more of these carpet creatures you can free. You know, there's one way down there. But again, this isn't supposed to be a thorough Let's Play. I'm just here to go through and see how the mic is working. Alright, I guess I'll save these ones because they're in the way. Nice thing about the mountain is even if you're like strafing that way or way that way and don't know where to go, it does present effectively like a permanent north on the map to head to. Like, as long as you keep moving towards it, you'll eventually find where you're supposed to go. And here we arrive at what appears to be like the factory area where a lot of the I think they're called guardians, actually. But these stone beasts are located and manufactured in these guys. I will say having the complete length of his scarf there does make the game even easier than it was before, but also a bit more fun. It's actually genuinely fun to be flying around and hovering over the deserts below. And here in the story you can see with her prosperity came growth, and they needed to build more and more, which ended up sacrificing land space for the most basic resource, that being food. And I guess they didn't think to move their farms elsewhere or anything either. I will say it's actually a little bit of bad game design that freeing those guys is tied to activating this, because it could theoretically be that, like, you know, just some bridge or whatever extends out and takes you to the next area. Well, players might be looking around down there trying to figure out what to do in order to allow these guys to escape. Now we come to one of the sliding areas. Easily some of the most comfy moments in the entire game. And they really went all out with the aesthetics and the sunset. It's just a beautiful bunch of scenery. Though I do wonder how the hell is sand getting all the way up there only to pour down here at such a consistent rate, or even worse there. I mean, it looks cool, but how does it work? Alright, I wonder if it's possible to, like, skip this area. 1, 2, 3. It is possible to skip this area. That is actually pretty cool. You can just see the vast, sprawling cities in the background, these huge, admittingly kind of same-ish structures up there. It's probably not possible to get on the bridge there. No. Well, maybe it is, and you just need to be extremely precise. But goddamn, does this game just look gorgeous. Like right here, this is a level of sheer beauty that, like, someone, I think in the Discord or whatever, said this is a level of Kino that would have killed an NES kid back in the day. And so you go from this, like, you know, extremely vibrant reds, oranges, yellows, the sun in the background, the sky egg white. And then you kind of descend a little bit further down, and it gets darker and darker. Now you have these kind of purples mixed in, a few magentas here and there. And things start to silhouette in a much darker color scheme. And you just descend down and down, the cities become a little bluer, and then you reach the end where you get one last shot of the bright area above before descending into the realm of cool colors below. I mean, again, it's probably not anything super complicated in terms of how to handle art direction, but it is so competently done and so beautifully executed that you can't help but to feel it's absolutely brilliant. And now they run out of resources to power everything and start arguing over what's left. And that eventually leads to schisms and them constructing weapons of war, which, remember, use the carpets. So they're basically using what little they have left available to themselves in order to basically kill each other. The concept of collaboration, of trying to innovate in different ways, just did not seem to cross their minds, and it was probably out of sheer desperation. And who knows, we'll probably be reading about stuff like that in the coming decade with, you know, climate change and the loss of water reservoirs and all of that. And yeah, now we, you know, firmly get into cool color territory. All blues, purples, with a very rare white that only accentuates or makes more apparent how dark and cold this area seems. Hey, little guy. Now, I'm certainly not the only one to point this out, and I think I pointed it out in my previous Let's Play of the game, but this area really does feel like it's supposed to mimic being underwater. You have these, like, you know, basically, you know, structures sunk into the sand. You have these carpets here acting like seaweed, and the small ones acting a bit like fish. And the way that the rays, you know, descend in here end up making it, you know, look like rays going into the water. Those look like jellyfish. So it's interesting how they made, like, an underwater level without making an underwater level. Now this one has more of like a cyan color scheme. Like the color schemes between the rooms change. Like they went all out with this stuff. Fun fact, it's actually possible to get on like the very top of the statues here. Need to see. Get onto this guy. And make a jump over here. And one thing you probably haven't noticed because you weren't swaying around was these actually rotate. I never noticed that during my first few playthroughs, but those rotate and those let out steam. So underneath the city itself, they were storing and constructing these vast weapons of war. Now that one there is supposed to like activate and start attacking, and you can kind of amusingly... Oh, it's the one down there. All the same, you can kind of amusingly fly past it here and just ruin the cinematic moment. Now we have more of a green color scheme here. Again, they change it around a lot. Ow, you dick. Surprisingly, that doesn't cause you to lose carpet length. You only lose it when they spot you and then dash into you. Again, just kind of goofing off in what's supposed to be a cinematic moment. And there you can see 6 foot versus 5'11" right there. And surprise, surprise, using what's left of your limited resources to wage war in order to gain their resources doesn't end well for anyone. And the deserts are allowed to overtake civilization. And I guess... well, we still don't really know what those things are supposed to be, if they're like spirits or whatever. But occasionally, one of them drops down. And it's our guy. Our little journey dude. So the previous area was just full of cool and dark colors. After the sheer overwhelming amount of warm colors that existed in the level previous, and it's kind of interesting how they were able to develop a means of like blocking these weapons of war, but it might have been too little too late. But for just a moment again, we're going to get more brilliant warm colors. And also more kind of ocean-ish motifs. Oh, hey, there's a guy. So you have this huge tower and this, vast sprawling area. Don't really know what that other guy's doing. Oh, he's activating those. I don't know if he's collected all the sigils, but hey bro, there's one over here that you should get. Alright, I'll just... Alright, yep, he got... Alright, I think I'll help him out. I'll show him where all of the sigils are for this area. I know of. You can see the artwork there is showcasing the journey that our character took. So you want to activate this one. Follow me, dude. And then I think you want to head over here where this whale guy is. And there should be something over here for him to see. It's not a sigil, it's another bit of lore. Trying to remember where the other sigil is. You're supposed to ride the whale. Oops. Can't quite get up there. Or is it over here? No, doesn't seem to be. Alright, I'll take the long way. You enjoy your ride, bro. Or... there we go. just can't quite remember where. There's one kind of tucked away in some other room. Did you fall, bro? Alright, he's good. There we go. And then there's a slide down. Yeah, I really don't know where it's supposed to be. You can see just how everything is now bathed in this golden light that you're able to swim through. And there's a huge whale carpet thing down there. Again, more water imagery. There is an achievement for sitting down next to someone for like 20 seconds, you know, with you both sitting. Though, to be honest, I have no idea how to make the journey person sit, and I even was able to get that achievement. Oh, and you can see here it keeps track of when you had a companion and when you didn't. So for most of it, I was alone. There's a guy who was briefly there at the bridge area, and now it's implying that I'm going to face the final challenge with this other dude. Which is fine, but there's something very goofy and out of the way that I'm gonna want to do, whether or not he's able to do it with me. And you go from this, you know, very warm looking area, not just warm colors, but it does really feel like you'd be in a lovely warm location, to the wintry cold afterwards. The developer has stated that Journey is supposed to almost represent life. And unsurprisingly, the final level is winter. It's when everything is truly dead. Now, as neat of a motif as this is, I'm not all too fond of this area just because you have way less movement here, even with, like, you know, the full carpet and whatever, than you do in previous areas. Here, I'll keep you. Nice and warm. Yeah, I think my scarf is just a little bit bigger than his, because he might have missed one of the other lifts. You can see one of the guardians there knocked some poor bastard out of the sky. Here we get like one of the first kind of puzzles in the game, which is this wind one. You can skip a few of the tombstones. Like, I'm gonna head right back here. I have no idea if he'll make it. Come on, dude. There we go. And then if you're fast enough, you should be able to make it behind this one. And then you're home free when you get to this point. Gravestones here. And that moon is just a JPEG or pinch of our moon that was cut out and just put in the sky. It's weird for how stylized and custom made everything is, that the moon is like very clearly derived from a photograph. Come on, dude. I'm gonna show you where to get a nice achievement. I think there's an achievement if you go up in there. I don't know if you have to activate this or not, but he did. And so if he got that achievement, good for him. And if I've just wasted his time, then oh well, you know. There you go. It is amusing the kind of silly interactions you can have with someone when you aren't even able to like actually communicate. It reminds me a little bit of Team Fortress 2. The kind of silliness you can do when you're just like, you know, shaking your camera or shooting things or hitting the ground with your melee. Now here, what they want you to do is go from like underground area to underground, or not underground, but like internal area to internal area for the wind puzzles. But you can actually kind of bypass that by just going over here. Oh, and also, you know, for that guy. But again, if you just stick way far over here, he's not gonna see you. Now, Journey is a game that doesn't have any losing conditions. Believe me, there's moments where I've tried to die. And even if that Guardian hits you, you know, 2 times and you lose all of your scarf, it's not going to hit you again. Here. Might as well reveal this. You can see all the journey people going to the mountains, the ancestors, and originally the ending was that a bunch of the ancestors would be there. And you just, kind of walk through the crowd. But they decided to change that because they thought that leaving it up to your interpretation as to what happens would be more meaningful or interesting. But there are storyboards showing, you going through the mountain peak and then seeing a bunch of other journey people. It's dead, Jim. Let's just head on over. There he is. Why isn't he going after any of those, like, carpet guys, huh? We're always on our case. And yeah, you can just skip that whole area. Like, there's so little losing condition that even if you do things completely wrong with how the developers intended you to do them, it's still not gonna stop you. In fact, this upcoming area with all the strong wind might actually be the single hardest part of the game. This kind of temple area here. I think we were supposed to lift up that big carpet, but nope, even when not doing what the devs want you to do, we can still prevail. Oh, look, you just stepping up. Here, you wanna like this? Interesting. I try up here. Nope. It doesn't work. It's truly dead. And those don't do anything either. I mean, it must not have always been quite this bad. They were able to build all of this crap. I think we walked in circles. Yeah, walked in circles, dude. There he goes, all the way back there. Here, come here, dude. Remember this part? I have no idea how we managed to end up, like, basically back at the start, but we did. He's able to get up there. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know if we truly were going backwards or what, but it just kind of seemed like it. Probably not good that I'm wearing mostly white for my friend here. Make little calls. But that's about as much as I can do. You know, I think the problem was we can't see the mountain. How are we supposed to know we're going where we need to go if we can't see the damn mountain? That's been our compass. That's been our waypoint since the beginning of this damn adventure. My character's just jumping along here. Carpet, dude. Careful, dude. You were really close to being spotted there, bruv. Alright, through those arches, that's where we want to be. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. He clinked my clock, but he got me... Ah, crap. But he got me further over to where I want to go. Sure, my jumps are no longer as majestic as they once were. But we managed to get through. I'll let him head on over. There I go. I think that's the last we have to deal with that guy, though. Like, there's basically your final boss. Why so little now? And you basically just have to ride the carpet seaweed. And now we get to the hardest part of the game. Just because some of these wind tunnel areas are so tight with their timing requirements. I have a much shorter carpet length than you now. I feel like a chump. I used to have a long, magnificent, waving scarf. It used to be so damn elegant. Like, these stairs here are the actual final boss of Journey. Made it. I'm not joking, it's actually kind of difficult to get up those. The timing there is just so tight compared to like the rest of the game. Oh, dude! Oh, crap! I thought he was in danger, but no, it is I who is in danger. Thankfully, you know, no losing conditions, so I'll just climb the seaweed here. And we're good. Now, up here, there's like a length of time where you're just moving forward, and then a period where you're walking slowly. And I'm pretty sure during that time, you'd be able to slowly walk all the way down to the temple area there. Now, I find to be a pretty good way to handle the wind is kind of strafe. And, let's see, I'll show you. So, strong wind, move with it, because then you don't go backwards quite as much. In fact, that kind of sent us forward a little bit. You can actually kind of see there's like a wall blocking our ability to truly go to the mountain, which again begs the question how these people were able to build that. Did they use scarf things? Yeah, see, there's a wall there, it's just barely visible. Or the Guardians, or were there just a bunch of Journey people hauling up stone up this mountain? And to think you two are complaining. You can see we're so damn frozen that it's actually impossible to tell, like, almost impossible to tell, like, which one's me and which one's him. And also the mountain peak has been obscured, which is a good detail in this part, because it does show how just utterly out of reach it seems for this dude. Personally, I do get what they were going for with this part. You know, the agonizing final few steps they could make before they give up. But it can also kind of feel pretty long and drawn out, especially as it transitions into this cutscene and you get a vibrant white screen for quite a while. There's the ancestors. At least I get my scarf back. That's nice. I do kind of wonder why they chose, like, to appear here. Like, is just getting to that point what makes me worthy? Was there never actually any path up to the mountain to begin with for a wayward journeyer? But here, there's that blue sky that they were teasing so much. And my buddy's here. And in addition to the sky, there's also areas with some water to be found. So we finally get that, not just, areas that look like they're mimicking water, but areas actually with water. And I guess, the snow also kind of fits into that. I mean, what's snow if not, like, frozen water? And here's where things can get a bit goofy. So they want me to slide down there, right? I'm not gonna do that. Or at least I don't intend to, but I might have missed the opportunity. Damn it. So what I was trying to show off is you can actually go up there if you're fancy enough with your sliding and stuff. And you can arrive like over there, but I just was not able to do it in time. if you do manage to do that, this segment of the music actually won't play here. It completely screws up the soundtrack because you haven't hit the trigger to move on to the next part of it. I'll see after I beat the game if, like, there's anywhere I can go that would, you know, if I could start right over there. And if I can, I'll show you, and if not, well, I just don't feel like doing the snow level again. Yep, and here's the actual water. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Alright, let's finish this journey together. And yeah, he made this moment just as majestic and beautiful. A lot of whites and blues and evoke a very heavenly feel. And we walk towards this bright unknown. Oh, and fun fact, you can actually like make with how the snow distorts under your feet, you can actually draw a penis with it. Just for those of you who are not having a moment with some other player treading into some vast unknown territory. Yep, you can't even really talk here. Alright, bro, let's head on out. And once you cross that point, then I'm not touching any of the keys. I am now, and now I'm not. Your character just walks forward on his own. I mean, it's definitely a touching ending, especially if you do have a buddy, and for all the trials and tribulations you went through beforehand. Now I kind of broke it a little bit and was goofing off because I've played through this before, but it definitely is very emotional when you do first play through it and do so in the way that the developers wanted you to do it. For being a very simple walking simulator with no conditions, Journey ended up being actually a really good game. And I am glad that it eventually appeared on Steam, because I remember hearing about some Sony games coming to PC, Journey being one of them, and then being disappointed that it was going to be an Epic Game Store exclusive. And I have watched like Let's Plays and videos of this before playing it, so I kinda knew what was going on, but it was still a fantastic experience. Even with that prior knowledge, the art direction is just brilliant. I love the use of colors. I love the architecture they have here. Who the hell is that? Didn't see him in a previous credit sequence, I don't think, but I could be mistaken. Like, it's a kind of project where you can tell that the developers knew that there probably isn't going to be anything quite like it again. So we want to get every single, like, great shot and cinematic moment that we could possibly manage out of this one title, and I do think they were able to accomplish that brilliantly. You get to see this little spark here, just going back through some of the environments. So they do have different lighting, like it's noticeably lighter here. And so even just going back through these areas gives you a nice visual treat. There's really no way to get there but through that giant hole, amusingly. It does kind of make you wonder about the intricacies of the architecture. Like right here, like this looks beautiful. And it's not the same shot we saw in the game. It's beautiful in its own unique way. Like, this game really is just a stunning visual experience. I know that, like, it's very common to lambast graphics because that's what a lot of games focus on, and graphics end up being dated. This is a game that I think you're gonna have to wait a really long time before the graphics start to even remotely seem dated. It's almost a shame that these brilliant shots are a bit covered by the text here, but like, look at this. I just love the colors of the game. You get a lovely night shot. So a few more journey people making their way over. It's a hub area, the level select, and then at long last it's back to the beginning. Back to where you came from. Which seems almost grim, as if it's like purgatory and you're forced to go through this journey over and over and over again with no real hope of reprieve. But I'd like to think that the journey guy who appears at the end isn't the same you played as initially. And we met Bees and Horse Eagleland. Or Horse Eggland. Well, hello to the two of you, especially the latter. Thanks for the fun little experience. Hopefully you're able to get all the glyphs and earn the fun white outfit and get the achievements. Yeah, even after all this time, there's still a bunch of people playing this game.